Hi guys, so this is Joey or Rowan. This is a video that is in honour of two things. It's in honour of Mabon and it's in honour of my grandma. This video is going to be called Growth, Change and Honesty. And this is for Mabon because Mabon is a time when we go into ourselves and we try and rid ourselves of negativity and bad habits and think inwardly. And it's for my grandma because she was a great believer in truth, and she had a real gift. She could see the truth in people, and she knew if people were lying to her. Human lie detector, and she's passed this gift on to me and my sister. We have a very good feeling about when people are lying to us. She was really a great person, and her passing was really felt. She used to know exactly how to deal with rude people. She would just swear at them, raspberry at them, and then laugh her head off at them, and it just defeats people. It's like, I'm not taking on your shit, F you, and then laugh at them. It's the best way to do it. So this video is in her honour, as well as for Mabon, and it is truthful change and growth, personal growth. So it's basically following on a bit from my truth video about truth and action, about saying one thing and doing another, and this on a personal level. So Mabon is the time. It's a step over the line into the dark half of the year, where you look inwardly and decide, this is a bad habit, this is negative, I need to change it. And what I feel needs to go into this process. So many people make New Year's resolutions in January, and the joke is, you know, it's dropped before the end of the month. And a lot of people say they're going to do something or live a certain way, and they might believe it for a while, but they don't stick to it. Or maybe they don't believe it at all and it's just nonsense. I feel very strongly about lying. I've said before. And if I think someone is lying to me, I don't really want much to do with that person. I'm a bit like Mr. Darcy. My good opinion, what's lost, it's gone. And it's possibly a bit of a harsher side of my personality. I've considered whether or not I need to be more forgiving in some circumstances, and I've come to the point in my life now where I weigh it up. I try not to weigh it up while I'm still angry at whatever, but I try to weigh up whether or not I can get through that, whatever has happened, whether I can trust the person or not. And that's an intuition from the goddess. If the goddess is telling me you can't really trust this person, then I listen to her. I've had enough life experience to know that some people will take advantage over and over again. And some people say they want to change and they don't. They don't want to change. They want people to fall into the trap and believe them, and then they'll just go and hurt them and do it all over again. So, change. Change is a part of this time of the year. Things are dying off. We're entering the dark half of the year. We go inwards. We contemplate ourselves, our traits, positive and negative, what we want to work on in a positive sense, what we want to work and get rid of within ourselves that is in a negative sense. We might do spell work for that effect. We might not. It might be meditation. It might be mundane things we can do, etc. And I wanted to start off by talking about the honest want to change. First and foremost, if you're just promising other people because that's what they want to hear, then you're not going to change whatever the negative behaviour is that you want to change. It's very much like someone who has a problem with a substance abuse problem, for example, saying, oh yeah, I'm giving up tomorrow. And that That's not a real acknowledgement of problem. The first thing you have to do is say, I shouldn't have done that, or I have to stop doing this, or this doesn't make me feel good. For me, it was weight loss last year. Still continuing, it's still a normal process. And many times before I had said and thought, I need to get a hold of this, I need to lose the weight. And I finally reached the point where I'd had enough, and I promised myself and my gnome I was really going to try. And I promised him because it helped me put the weight of that promise, as well as to me, as well as to him. And then I promised Morrigan, which is the heaviest promise of all. You break a promise to any goddess, you're in trouble. But you break the promise to Morrigan. Good luck with that. Yeah, I wouldn't. So you have to reach a point within yourself which is honest and truthful and say, I have done this. I need to stop doing this. And if you've done X, Y, and Z to people, then you need to be say sorry to them. You need to acknowledge that you did it, and then what will be will be. I mean, you might think, if I'm honest, I might burn bridges with these people. Well, yes, but you shouldn't have done whatever you did in the first place. And at some point, if that comes out, and it comes out from other means, and you weren't truthful, you definitely burned that bridge, because not only did you do whatever, but you lied. Some people can get over it. They're very forgiving people if they can. But there are no guarantees. There are no guarantees, so I should also add that it takes quite a lot for me to decide that my good opinion on someone has been lost. Unless it's goddess driven, which really doesn't happen that often. It does happen, and it has happened. I'm not quick. It'd have to have been 1 instance, 2 instances, 3 instances, small instances. If it was one big massive instance, then that would be it. But you know, for me, it'd have to be more than one thing. It would have to be a feeling. It would have to be the goddess saying, come on now, you know. And I do know. I'm clairvoyant. I'm tapped into spirit. I had a spirit turn up yesterday, and I will share this. I will share this. I was very upset yesterday, and I was communing with my goddess Morrigan, and I gave her an offering, and one of the raven feathers on my altar moved. It moved. So there you go. Letting me know she was there, or spirit was there, listening, being supportive. And she spoke to me directly yesterday. I always know when she speaks to me directly because I start bawling my eyes out. Well, I start crying when I commune with goddess, because it touches me on a deep level. And she was mad on my behalf, bless her. I am hers, and she's mine, and I honour the Morrigan. Yes, so we've gone slightly off topic, but truth and growth. Okay, so the first step is acknowledging the truth of it in your own heart, and you have to own up and say, I did this, I shouldn't have. In recent years, for a good few many years, I only take action if I believe in the honest truth of it. I've been put in some difficult situations, and I've made my mind up and said, I need to tell whoever. I've said about my other friend in the other video, in the truth video, there was another circumstance in my past. I'll bring this into light. Me and my best friend both fancied the same guy as teenagers, and okay, there was another guy involved as well who fancied my friend, and he told the boy we both liked that we both liked him, and the boy that that boy chose me, and the other guy ended up going out with her. However, at the time she was really, really, really hurt and angry. We had both promised each other that no matter what happened we would be friends, and for a while that didn't happen, and anyway, I ended up not staying with him at that point, and he then went out with her. His motives, I'm sure, aren't difficult to decipher there, but when he was going out with her and I was with someone else who wasn't there, there was a house party. At this house party, he cheated on my friend. Everybody makes mistakes, and we were young, so he's not a bad guy. And I was then put in the situation that I knew he had cheated on my friend, who I had tentative relationship with then at the best of times, and I was put in a position, right, no one else at that party got on with her. She was in a different circle of people. If I didn't tell her, nobody would have told her, basically. And I was put in that position. Do I tell her? Because I'm going to hurt her, but I know the truth. And I decided that yes, I was going to have to tell her. But I mean, he hated me for it for a while. She hated me for it for a while. We came through it in the end, and you know, it sorted itself out. But I had to tell the truth, and it put me in this position. Like, she might not believe me because I used to go out with him. I left him for someone else, but still. He called me every name under the sun to her and called me a liar. In the end, he admitted it, and they talked it over and got through it, and then a week later split up. So, teenagers, it's all fun when you're a teenager. Although this might still happen to people in adulthood, I don't know. I'd hope not, but still. It made me feel, I was like, do they think I'm going to be, you know, I look like a bitch for telling the truth. I look like I'm gossiping for telling the truth. And part of me was like, I don't feel like I want to say anything. But the other part of me, and the stronger part of me, said, well, you're going to have to take the heat and look like that because it's the truth. And no one else is going to tell her the truth. Everyone else is going to lie to her. So what do? I told the truth. Do I regret it? No, I don't regret telling the truth. And I always will take that line. If someone comes to me and starts bitching about someone else and I don't want that ever. Do not come to me and start bitching about someone else, because it gets me mad. And I look like I have something on my face. Here we go. It just makes me mad. I don't like it. Why would you try and spread that negativity into my life? Don't. It just pisses me off. Excuse my French, but it does. It's just like, don't come. Yeah, because if I feel that you are trying to damage my relationship with someone, I'll go and talk to them about it, and you will be outed. Because I don't believe in that lie. I don't believe in that deception. I don't believe in you going about this person. It's like, if you have a problem with something that person said or did, you go fucking talk to that person, because be truthful. Now, a lot of people I have noticed, especially once they've been found out, are like, I'm a resolved person now. I've been found out, so I'm going to be a better person. And I don't believe it. Sorry. You were doing this a day ago, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and now you're changed. Now you're a new person. No. Change takes hard effing work. As anybody who's ever got over an abuse problem, I mean, I've overcome comfort eating and things like that, which is not an abuse problem in the same sense as the more serious versions, you know, drinking drugs and whatever. It's not something that happens within a week or within days. And don't try and lie and say, I'm different now, because it takes months, years, decades, and as pagans, we dedicate ourselves to a lifetime lifetime path in which we grow, change, evolve and get better. And the only way to do that is to acknowledge our own inner problems and attack them. And basically what it is it's like when you're growing things in the garden, that you have to hack back at things, right back to the root of the tree or bush or plant, so that new growth can come through. And that's a really brilliant metaphor. When you're doing whatever and you have this problem, you have to hack right down, and that takes time, and you have to get to the root of the problem. You might need therapy, you might need counselling, you might need all sorts of help, and there's no shame in any of that. I've had therapy, well, counselling. I've had counselling for the stuff that's happened to me in my past. Am I over it? No, I'll probably never be over it. It's shaped me, it's hurt me, I have many scars that you can't see as a result, but that doesn't mean I let it control me, and that is the essence of it. It's acknowledging that this happened, being sorry if you need to be, offering real, full-hearted apologies. Do not be like, oh, I'm so sorry, oh, I did this wrong, and then in the next sentence you are hexing somebody, you are lying about somebody, you are bitching, gossiping, blah, 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 negative. That's for you, Grandma. Bless her. Miss her. Yeah. So real, honest change and growth comes from a place inside yourself where you have to start. And that's just the start, because you have to then purge all the poison. I'm a big fan of that expression. It's purging the poison within yourself. You have to get rid of it. You have to apologise, you have to be truthful, you have to admit it, you know. And I've been thinking a lot about this over the last couple of days. There we go. There is no friendship rooted in lies. There is no true growth rooted in lie. If part of the tree is diseased or damaged, what grows from it will not be a full bloom of life. It will be diseased and damaged itself. You have to hack back at it, take it back to the root, take it back to the truth, and then let the chips fall where they may, and then start rebuilding. Mabon is a really good time for acknowledging your own inner problems, be they small. Say, like for instance, for me, I'm impatient. I'm really, really impatient, and that is maybe not a minor thing, but that's not like a deadly serious one. I don't trust people very easily. That's maybe a little bit more serious, and I don't think that is ever going to change. I am working on it. I am putting myself back out there in the public eye by one step at a time, by being here on YouTube and whatnot. But I've already been burnt by it already, which isn't really good, considering that I'm trying to trust people. But hey, that's just one step. That's just life. We don't all get along. That's fair enough. But you have to be more truthful, and you have to be more honest. And it's a way that I try to live my life, is by trying to make the honest decision, and, you know, spreading lies and gossiping and spreading little hate and trying to come between people, for example, is a negative behaviour that I don't need, the community doesn't need, paganism doesn't need, the world doesn't need. We don't need it. We don't need people starting arguments. We don't need people meh, 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 meh. We don't need bitching and gossiping. We don't need people taking our names and saying things and claiming things that aren't true. If you think two people need to talk, then let them talk. If you have a problem with one person, then go and have an adult conversation with this person. But basically the first step in anything is admitting, usually with arguments and whatnot, that most people have fault somewhere in the argument. There is no circumstances where every person is really perfectly 100% right, because we're human, we're flawed. We lose our temper, we get angry, we might think we're doing the right thing, but you look back and think, maybe I shouldn't have done it. And unfortunately, sometimes I get to the point where I have gone and said the truth, and then I look back at it and think, should I have done it? And the answer is usually yes, you should have done it, because even if it was not a popular move, even if it was not the easy thing to do, truth is usually the best policy where you can. Failing that, be humble, be gentle, and be positive. But if you don't acknowledge your own fault, then you're never going to grow as a person. If you don't spread a little honey, all you're going to have is bitterness. And yeah, so that's it for today. I might add another video in a while about how to regulate your own positives, negatives, and growth. Maybe like I had thought of a list thing you could do for Mabon, so I might talk about that in a bit. So many blessings.